Welcome to the Creative Differences podcast. I'm Gabby.
I'm Colin.
And this is our Throwback Thursday today for a Goofy movie.
Yep.
Oh gosh, I'm so used to somebody else moderating this that I'm not.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
I'm just going to moderate for you guys because you guys are struggling. For the record,
best.
guys, they are doing a Throwback Thursday for a Goofy movie because last week happened to be the 25th anniversary of the movie's release. So, yay.
Oh, God.
Yeah, we're old.
Why are we so
1995.
So, is this your first time watching this movie, guys?
No, I saw this as a child probably on the Disney Channel.
Yeah, I mean, I know I've seen it because I recognize like the songs and stuff. I don't remember when that was because I didn't watch the Disney Channel growing up, so I just must have seen it at some point, you know?
Yeah, it was like really easy to watch these movies somehow as children. Like somebody always had it. Or
yeah,
it was on
I think that's
somewhere.
what it was. Or like, my parents would take me to Blockbuster and it's like, that's a Disney movie. Cool, you can watch that.
That's what it was. That's probably what it was. It was probably Blockbuster.
I owned it.
You owned it.
Yeah, I still do. I have it on
most
VHS
movies.
somewhere in my room. I don't
That's
own
true.
most movies. I own most Disney movies, though, for sure.
I think that's what it is.
My parents didn't like buying us movies because my brother and I would want to watch them over and over again, and it would drive my mom nuts. At least not till I was
I feel
older.
like that's not fair. Like, you should be able to own them.
Oh no, absolutely no. It drove her nuts. I think we owned Snow White, and I was obsessed with Snow White, and I wanted to watch it every day. And then it just mysteriously disappeared once, and I was like, my mom definitely threw that out because she was so sick of it. So she just,
that's so mean.
you know how some parents are like, oh, my child's obsessed with this. That's fine. I'll just keep watching it. My mother's not one of those parents. She's like, no, this is enough. We've seen it enough times.
Yeah, my parents didn't like watch them over and over and over with me. I just used to watch them in my room.
No, I'm talking like when I was a toddler. Like, you know how you can't talk a toddler out of watching something over and over again.
I don't know what their habit was for when I was a toddler. Yeah, once I hit like 4 or 5, I used to just watch movies by myself.
Okay. No, we didn't do that. And then my grandma had like 2 movies that we were allowed to watch, and one of them was Oliver and Company, and the other one was Beauty and the Beast. And that was it. That was all of it. Anyway, moving on.
From
story.
Gabby's sad,
What did we
sad
think
childhood.
of the story?
So, the story of a Goofy movie is pretty simple. The main character is Max, who is Goofy's son. I have a lot of questions just about that statement right there, but we'll just breeze past that. Anyway, he basically concocts a plan to like put on a concert at school to get this girl to like him, and he gets in trouble as a result. So that kind of convinces his dad to like take him on a forced vacation to like make sure that he doesn't end up in the electric chair is something they say twice in this movie, and it's just too dark for what this movie is.
Oh,
like
also they
Jesus
mention gangs
Christ.
more than once.
Well,
It's
they
very
do,
a very
and
like
that's
90s
fine to me,
thing.
but when you say the electric chair, like you're going to kill this child, anyway. So
Or like he's gonna end up committing such a horrible crime that he would be condemned to death.
killed.
Like
Yeah,
what?
I don't. Anyway, so Goofy forces Max to go on this vacation, which messes with Max's plans because he was trying to get with this girl and go to a party where they could watch this concert. But on this road trip, he tries to figure out a way to get to the concert so that he can like be there and be on TV and still be impressive and get the girl to like him and yada, yada, yada. And it's a lot of, them on the road and the misadventures that ensue.
Nice.
So, how do I feel about the story of this movie? I mean, it's fine. It feels... The middle kind of feels like obviously there need to be things that happen between when they leave and when they get to LA, but I don't know, the middle is just kind of there and it doesn't really do a lot for me. Like, once you get to the emotional conflict of like stuff with the map and all of that, like, yeah, that works because that's the emotional development, but all the random stuff with like Bigfoot and monster truck rallies, and I don't even know what that stuff with the animatronic or whatever that stuff was, I don't know. That was kind of weird. But
That was cute. It was just like, to me, it was goofy, like just embarrassing Max and showing Max like annoyed, so that when they have like a moment of reconciliation, it means something.
Yeah, I get that.
Gabby, what did you think of the story?
It's a road trip movie. It was, at least I remember the 90s or in early 2000s when I used to see this movie more often. It was really relatable to kids, I think, especially of the time, because it was like cool music and like skateboarding and like baggy clothes. Um, and like Powerline is really cool. But watching it now, I was like, oh, this is a run of the mill kind of road trip movie. Something's gonna go wrong. The only thing I didn't like about it was like, and one of the main reasons I don't watch this movie very often is Goofy was one of my favorite characters as a kid growing up. He was like, I had a dog named Goofy, and Max is so mean to him, like most of the movie, and Goof is just trying to be a sweet dad. And so because he was my favorite and somebody was being mean to him most of it, like Goofy was like sad. I really didn't like watching the movie because it was like one of my favorite characters just being so sad. Like the bit where the principal calls him and he's just like depressed, and then the bit when he finds out that Max changed the map and he's like just goes and lies down on that waterbed. And then when Max chooses to go to LA instead of the Idaho, he like pulls over on the edge of the road like that. Oh, just so many feelings for poor Goof. And so that's why I don't really like this movie, I think.
Well, I guess
Dang,
that brings us over to the characters.
That just got so much deeper than I was expecting to get on a Goofy movie.
Right? Jesus.
Yeah, Goof's one of my favorites. So, I mean, it's a good movie because it gives him a lot of emotional depth, but it's so sad.
It's
Like,
funny because I like love Max.
I did not.
I love Max. I've always loved Max.
I didn't like him. He was so mean. I was like, what is wrong with him? His dad just wants
He's
to hang
a
out with him.
teenager. That's what's
I
wrong
guess.
with him.
But I
mean,
grew up in a family
to be
where like
fair to Max,
I wasn't
though,
allowed
like,
to. I didn't have a lot of freedom.
I mean,
I had to
think
spend a
that's
lot of
because,
time with
like,
my parents.
Goofy springs this trip on him out of nowhere. Doesn't even say like, "Hey, tomorrow we're leaving." It's just like, "Oh, we're leaving right now. Deal with it." So that kind of sucks.
I guess, but Max had also only just made plans that day. So as far as Goof knew,
Yeah.
Max didn't have any plans. And this was before cell phones, so it wasn't like he could text Dad like, Dad, I'm going to a party this weekend, and then Goofy disregarded it.
Who
Yeah.
plans a camping trip at the last minute, though?
Somebody that's trying to keep their son from joining a gang.
You don't have to go camping
going
to do
to
that.
die. You
I know. Although that's okay. Is somebody Latinx who knows people that have been knows people whose kids have been involved in gangs and stuff. Sometimes that's how you get them out the gang. Is like you just like put them in a
You
car.
take them camping?
You take them out of the city to go somewhere remote where they can't be reached, and then you fly them to Mexico for a few months, and then you bring them back.
Max was not that
Oh.
much of a flight risk. Oh.
No, I know, but I'm like, ooh, sounds about right.
Oh my goodness. So, okay, Colin, since Gabby gave her opinions on the characters, what did you think of Goofy and Max?
so much.
And any
I
other
just, like,
character
how
in
do
this
I
movie?
follow
Because Pete's
that?
in
Like,
there.
damn. I mean, I don't really like Goofy just as not in this movie, just as a concept. I don't like Goofy, and I don't think I realized that until this morning when I watched the movie again. Just like Goofy freaks me out. I don't like him. I don't like how he sounds. I don't like his existence. It's weird. That said, I fuck with Max. Like, I like Max a lot. I mean, I think he obviously could have been a lot better at communicating what his deal was. Like, as soon as he got home, they should have had a conversation about what actually happened at the school and how that's obviously not going to lead to him going to the electric chair. Like, come on, have a conversation, figure it out. I mean, that being said, I think Max is pretty great. And I was definitely more on his side than Goofy's, just because Goofy was kind of just like, this is going to happen and there's nothing you can do about it. And I get that that's how it is with parents a lot of the time, especially when you're still a minor and you don't really have a lot of choice. But like, I don't know, that just bothered me.
It's just so funny how like opposing, like, opposite ends of the spectrum you two are about these two characters.
Well, I also don't have like this childhood connection to Goofy that she does.
Yeah, I adore Goofy. Goofy was like, my parents were like, Goofy of all of them, not Daisy, not Minnie, and I'm like, no, Goofy's my guy.
She just wants a guy
Also,
who can
though,
make
if
her
we're talking
laugh.
about
Yeah.
characters, I'm gonna need a second to talk about Pete because he is complete trash. Oh my god!
Oh, Pete was
sucks
always the
so
worst,
much.
and poor Goofy has so much influence over Goofy too. And then okay, if we're gonna talk about characters too, we gotta get into Yiffy Queen 2020.
Okay,
Roxanne.
that's a term that you used and you shouldn't have. All right. Yeah, I mean she's cool. Like I
But
kind
yeah.
of feel like we don't know much about her, but you know we don't need to, I guess.
Yeah, but she was so good looking.
I understood as a child why Max was, you know, like he thought she was cute. I was like, oh
We
yeah, she's
all
cute girl.
understood. It was like super
and she
obvious.
she seemed like a nice person, like a genuinely nice person.
Yeah.
Mhm.
In my head, I was like, you deserve better, Roxanne.
But also,
I
I want to give a shout
Max
out to
isn't that
PJ,
bad.
who is, you know, pretty cool. PJ's
Well-
dope, and I think, and oh my gosh, what is his name? With the cheese,
The
other
cheeses?
dude.
Oh, I don't know his
remember
name.
his name. I mean, I
but
might
the
say it like
Leaning
beginning of
Tower
Bobby
of
Zimirsky.
cheese.
It's Bobby Zimirsky.
What?
It's Bobby.
Yeah.
I wanted to eat cheese like him so bad as a
Me
kid.
No. Demi,
Me
no,
too.
that's not cheese. It's Cheese Whiz, and that stuff sucks.
Cheese Whiz. I
It
love
It
Cheese
does,
Whiz.
but yeah, when I got older,
I love Cheese
found
Whiz.
out what it is.
Okay, to be fair,
But
the
yeah,
one
I
time
loved him. He
remember
was
having
the
it was
coolest.
like I had it in a school library, and it was on like grocery store sushi, and that was I should not have taken
Ew.
it when it was offered to me. But
No.
yeah,
that's-
it was one of those things. One of my roommates was just like, this is a weird combination, I'm gonna eat it, you should eat it. And I was like, well, we're stuck in the library, I might as well. And it was disgusting.
Was this at Pitzer?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, I didn't make that many bad decisions in college. It was mostly food based.
I made a lot of like questionable choices on people I allowed into my bedroom. But you know, whatever.
All right.
We don't need to talk about that. But yeah, shout out to PJ and Bobby for being dope friends, and also
They're
just
like
Bobby
ride
with
or
his
die.
awesome attitude.
Oh, for
Yeah.
real?
They're awesome.
Yeah, dude.
All right, guys. So, what did you think of the visuals and sound aspects of the film?
Visuals wise, this movie is like very like 90s, especially like the artwork. It's not quite up to that crisp late 90s, early 2000s like style that they ended up with. It's very much still has some hints of the 80s, I think, in it. And then music wise, I mean, we got some like almost like Michael Jackson sounding music. It was really
It's got
great.
some
And then somehow
bangers.
this was still musical, which I forgot. For a real standout.
Oh yeah, dude.
See,
Classic.
that's the problem is like you bookend this movie with Powerline songs and they go so hard that all the songs in between, I'm just like, what are you doing here?
Yeah. It's like it's two different movies.
So I'm gonna just say this soundtrack for this movie, it just slaps so hard that I literally own the Goofy movie soundtrack from when I was a child. Like, I have a
course.
CD.
It's great. Well, the Powerline stuff's great. But there's like 4 Powerline songs, aren't there?
There's
like
2, I think.
I thought there was like one in the middle somewhere.
There's Stand Out and there's Eye to Eye.
Oh, okay. Oh, so good. Who sings the Powerline songs?
Tevin
You know?
Campbell,
Yes!
R&B
Can't
legend.
wait on for a minute.
Also,
Can
Can We
you
Talk?
talk
So hard to
now?
sing, ladies and gentlemen, because I did it at karaoke. And nearly
Can
lost my
we
voice.
talk for a minute? Tevin Campbell.
But yeah, so I think my favorite visuals in the movie, though, is the scene where he's changing the map.
Oh, dude, that was a good one. I always remember that scene because of the animation in that part.
It's just such a good, like, yeah, it's just a well animated scene. I was just like, wow.
It's a really
I watched this
impressive
movie a
way
few
to put
months ago.
tension
And
into
I was just like, why?
like an act that like shouldn't be that tense, you know? But it is.
Yes. It's always I always remember that scene because of that particular, like, the artwork almost even like it completely changed, and it oh gosh. It's a good scene. It's memorable.
I also really like the lighting of that scene.
Yep. Where he's like lit from the bottom and
Yeah,
everything
that
around
like
him's dark.
gold
Yeah.
light that's coming from the glove box that
And
does
lights on
not
that.
make any sense at all. It's not practical, but it's an animated movie, so we can do what we
Yeah,
want.
exactly.
It's a movie, period. We can do that.
Yeah.
So, what is your favorite aspect of this movie?
I mean,
let's all be honest. It's Powerline.
Songs, like
It's Powerline.
100%.
It's
Powerline and Roxanne are my favorites.
Yeah, I just
Yif,
I
yif,
just
man. Just kidding.
Stop it.
Oh,
See, if you're gonna keep saying that, you have to
we're-
say what Colin said in the group chat.
Oh, which is like, I wonder how many people's like Yiffy Awakening this cost.
Yeah,
That's an honest question.
that's
How
Space
many?
Jam.
Oh, Lola
Oh,
Bunny.
yeah, Space Jam for a lot of people. Digimon for the weebs.
Lola frickin' Bunny.
Robin Hood.
Yo, you know who's a weeb? Megan the Stallion's a weeb. She says she wakes up watching anime and goes to sleep to anime, and the background on her phone is an anime character. She's a weeb. She's like a hardcore weeb.
That is
But yeah, Powerline. Let's go back to Powerline.
Sorry.
okay.
Yeah, Powerline is definitely my favorite part of this movie. When I went to Disneyland to go to Galaxy's Edge, I always make a Disney playlist for the drive there. And
yes,
so
everyone does it. It's tradition.
It's tradition. So obviously I had Goofy movie. No, actually I didn't have it on my phone, but my mom requested that I play the songs from Goofy movie.
Does Devin know about the Goofy movie? Has he
That's
seen
the
it?
story. Devin didn't know the songs, but me, Drew, and my mom were all singing it.
And
so
he was like, "Excuse me, I'm left."
No, my mom. No, not even. My mom was like, "Have you never seen the Goofy movie?" And he was like, "I don't think so." So like a few months ago, that was why we were watching it when Disney Plus first came out. That was the first thing that we watched as a family. We sat down and we watched the Goofy movie. And as we were watching it, he was like, "Oh, I think I've seen this movie." Because Powerline is so iconic, we were like, "Oh no, you absolutely have to sit down and watch this movie."
Yeah, I have a question. And I think I had this vibe when I was a kid. You know how a Goofy movie is kind of considered like a black movie?
Yeah.
Can someone explain that to me?
It's only
I
because
don't
of
understand
Powerline.
how. Oh, okay. Got it.
Because of Powerline.
Because he's clearly black.
Well, because Powerline was created to be a mix of Prince and Michael Jackson.
Got it.
Powerline is ours.
Got it. Yeah, I was just wondering. I thought maybe it was just because of Powerline, but I was like, is it the rest of the? I don't.
Yeah,
understand.
Powerline is a mixture of Bobby Brown, Prince, and Michael Jackson. I think Bobby Brown was original. I knew most of it. The only one I missed was Bobby Brown. I didn't realize he was the inspiration for the character as well, but it makes sense. I think Bobby Brown was originally the person that was cast to play Powerline.
Oh.
So yeah, obviously Powerline's the best part of this movie, guys. It's all of our favorite aspects.
Absolutely.
Yeah, dude, he's the best. That opening sequence, I was like, yeah. And then the end, and I was like, yes, as a child.
Oh, that's right. Bobby Brown got fired. Makes sense.
What?
Got it.
It does. He got fired for substance abuse.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And then he took some of the songs that he recorded for the movie and he remastered them and put them on one of his albums.
Ooh.
Amazing. I mean, might as well. You already did the work.
I want to hear that.
For those of you guys out there who want to know what album it's his forever album.
Okay, let me go check that out. Apple Music. Okay.
So yeah, I don't think there's much else to talk about that movie in particular. But because we haven't been doing reviews a lot recently, I think it would be a good idea. What have you guys been watching during the quarantine? Like, is there anything new that you guys have been watching, doing, reading, picked up?
I just started watching this movie called Almost Love. I stopped to record this and I'm gonna finish it in a minute. Which
that the sad movie you
Scott
got lost in?
Evans. Yes. Well, it's sad to I'll explain to you guys off mic why it's sad to me.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the one I was lost in. It's a movie about a group of friends and it's kind of following each of their relationships and stars Scott Evans. Let me look who else. Augustus Prew, Michelle Buteau, who I love. I love her and her comedy. She's amazing. Colin Donnell, Zoe Chow, and Kate Walsh. Each of them has like a relationship and it's kind of them muddling their way through it. The kind of main relationship is between Scott Evans and Augustus Prew, and they're a gay couple who is going through a rough patch in their relationship, and they're kind of trying to figure out if they're going to stay together or if they're going to break up, and it's real good. And it's not like that tortured kind of gay love. It's just like a relationship
Okay.
and they happen to be
Okay.
gay, you know? Because I feel like there's a lot of like gay movies that are like, this is
Mhm.
sad and it's gonna
Oh,
be
absolutely.
sad and these
100%.
characters are gonna suffer.
100%.
And this one is not that. This one is, it genuinely just feels like we're following a couple and they're going through a rough patch and they're seeing a counselor, and maybe they'll figure it out. Maybe they won't. I don't know. You can tell they still really love each other. I just, I haven't gotten to the end yet. So, but it's good
Okay.
so far. And I love Michelle Buteau. She's one of my favorite comedians. So I'm glad that she's in this.
Colin, have you been watching anything or reading? I don't know,
Bitch,
man. What have you been
come
doing on
on.
quarantine?
You know I have. Um, I have been doing both of these things, but mainly I've been rewatching Orphan Black from the beginning because I never finished it. I want to say I watched like the first 4 seasons and then never caught the 5th season, but now I have restarted it and whew, it's still so good and it holds up so well. And it's interesting because it's like
Oh,
it's watching a show that I remember and also don't remember. So certain things I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember how this pans out. But then there's like a major antagonist I just straight up forgot. And then she showed up near the end of season 1 and it was like, oh shit, you're gonna be around for like the next few seasons. I completely forgot you existed, but now I'm excited all over again. Oof, I like that
nice.
show so much. It's also just really interesting because it's about clones and they don't go super into the science, but one of the main characters is a scientist, so like she'll talk about like the DNA and stuff, and I just wonder like how much the writers knew beforehand, or did they have to research all that stuff to talk about it and make it sound believable? Did they make up a lot of it? I don't know.
We know quite a bit about clones because,
Do we?
well, humans have made clones of a bunch of different other animals. So we know in theory how to clone pretty much anything. It's just like the ethics behind it.
Oh.
And then clones don't live as long.
Oh. That okay, yeah, that makes
Yeah, I
sense.
took a whole class on the ethics of cloning. Like, I want to say middle school. It was when me and Gabby were in a
Sorry,
summer program
what?
together.
I was gonna say they
at
didn't teach us
Mayfield?
that in middle school.
Yeah.
They had. Oh, it's because we went to all the, the fancy private schools in Pasadena. They had like these summer programs for like us public school kids so that we could join them in the summers. It was like we had our own program, but like some of the teachers that would teach at the schools were our teachers, and we got
they
to
would teach their own electives.
Yeah, and the electives were always something creative because either the interns came up with them, or in the case of Mayfield, like we had our own program, but then we also mixed with their summer program. So yeah, it was that one was a much more interesting experience because you weren't just with your own group, you were with a bunch of other kids.
So I took a whole class on the ethics of cloning.
Well, all right then.
Because I'm weird.
You should watch Orphan Black because
I took a computer class,
relevant,
and an art class, and I can't remember the last class I took. And then I had a huge crush on one of the interns that was like a private school guy. I don't know why, but he ended up coming on our like, how we went to Alvera Street and stuff. He came to that and I just followed him around like a little puppy all day. Oh, and I just followed him around all day, and he knew that I had a crush on him, and he was super nice to me.
We were like 13, guys.
We were 13, yeah. We were.
I was probably 12.
He was just a very nice boy to me. Not in like a weird way, just like in a I know she's a crush on me, but I'm going to be nice to her.
So, Colin, you're enjoying your Orphan Black rewatch.
God, yes, I am. And like it's just reminding me that Tatiana Maslany is like the best actress in the world because she has to play so many different roles and also play against herself over and over and over. The fact that they're clones means they can impersonate each other. So she's playing one character, pretending to be another character. And it's like, oh my God, this is incredible. How do you do this?
Oh, that's so good. Did she ever win an Emmy for this? I feel like she deserved an Emmy.
She did.
Oh, she did. Thank God. No,
twice. She won. Trust me. I was
2016.
So happy when she won.
But she never got a Golden Globe. That's some bullshit. Or a Screen Actors Guild. Not cool. But she won an Emmy.
Cool.
Talented AF.
So I'm gonna finish this off here. I've watched several things since this quarantine happened. So I got to watch season 3 of Castlevania, which is great, but also like it felt like some storylines were just beginning. So I'm really looking forward to season 4 and seeing where they go with that. I don't want to get too deep into Castlevania, but if you're into like supernatural vampires and demons and stuff like that, you should watch it. Also, the animation is freaking amazing on that show. I love that show so much. And also like the action sequences, just so good, and the characters so great. Gabby, I'm going to recommend for you, I just want to know your opinion on it. I'm going to recommend Love, Wedding, Repeat on Netflix. It just came out.
Oh, let me go look at that.
I watched it. I think it's pretty average rom-com, whatever. I laughed out loud on several occasions, though, while watching that movie. Sam Claflin is definitely channeling his inner Hugh Grant.
Sam Claflin?
He is channeling his inner Hugh Grant, like hardcore in that movie. I was like, if this movie was made in the 90s, your character would be played by Hugh Grant.
Wait, it came out already with Olivia Munn? I am ready for this movie. I've been waiting. Yeah. I'm about to watch this. Yes, I will either watch it tonight at work or I will watch it like right before work. Oh my god.
Frida Pinto is the best part of that movie because she's
Aisling B's in this. Oh my god.
Frida's so just off type in this movie. I've seen Frida play characters who may be duplicitous, but like usually her characters are like good people. But no, her character in this movie, I was just like, the amount of attitude that is radiating off of you is just so much right now. She's the best part of that movie. And wow. I want Frida to have more work because I would like to see her in more things. If you guys like rom-coms, you guys will probably like that movie. It's based on the film Plan de Table, which I'm assuming is a French film, which I've never seen.
Sounds really cool.
So yeah, it's all about chance and love and luck.
Oh wait, I know why you watched this. Because
I watched it for Frida.
Boy's in it. No, that other guy's in it too that you like. What's his name?
Oh, I didn't realize that
Fry.
until later. Yeah, that movie also made me realize I really do like Joel Fry when he gets to do comedic stuff. Like I thought he was really good in Game of Thrones, but getting to watch him do funny stuff where he just is out of control is just great. I didn't realize he was in it though. I watched that movie for Frida Pinto.
Oh, okay. I'm definitely watching it because it's a rom-com, and also Olivia Munn. Yes,
and I like Olivia Munn.
I like this whole cast. This has a bunch of my favorite actors.
This movie is very British as well.
Perfect.
So if you're into that type of stuff, guys, you should check it out and see how you feel about it. That's about it. I started rewatching Catfish because I was watching highlight reels on YouTube, and I was like, I'm just going to watch the most recent season. And their new co-host, Cammie Crawford, is amazing. I love her.
So is it the original cast plus the new person, or is it just completely new?
No, it's Neve and a new co-host because Max left to pursue his film career. But she's great. She's a good, a good replacement for the team. That's it, everyone. Thank you guys for listening. Guess I should do Dallas's whole thing. Thank you, Brendan and Io from Crown Digital, for putting us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. This is the part where Dallas thanks me for putting us up on YouTube, yada, yada, yada. Thank you, Gaby and Colin, for doing this Throwback Thursday with us. Dallas hopefully will be back with us for the next podcast. You guys can find us on the medias at y'all_different on Twitter, Creative Differences Podcast on Tumblr, and Creative Differences on Facebook. Where can they find you guys?
You can find me, Gabby, on Instagram at Stegosaurus.
And you can find me on Twitter at DuckMcGuck.
And you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Dreamy Films. Dreamy is spelled Dreemi. Thanks again for joining us, guys.
Wait, hold on.
Oh, you can find
Dallas at Not Your Average Wolf on Twitter. Not is spelled Knot. Don't look it up. You'll regret it.
Oh, no.
Don't look. I'm telling you not to look it up.
It's been different.
I'm telling you not to.
I'm doing it.
Anyway.
Bye.